What's your most memorable moments at shows?
One of the first ones that comes to my mind is from a recent show. I think it was in 2014. Okay, that's not recent. I don't know what I'm saying. But I was at the Glass House out in Pomona. And that venue, a lot of messy stuff starts happening because right next door to the Glass House there's a bar that they own as well.
Yes.
And so people tend to have a little maybe more than they should when they go there. So you go there, you line up in front, you see the band members walk from van to bar to venue. And yeah, so I was at that show. The headliner was Australian metalcore Amity Affliction, but Chelsea Grin was opening for them.
Yes.
And Chelsea Grin, they're heavier if you don't know them. They're definitely pure screaming, no clean vocals. And during one of their breakdowns in the pit, I'm standing at like the back of it. And so I'm just watching all the crazy shit go down. I don't go in the pit. I'm too big. People leave the pit when I go in. I was at a show with my buddy one time, and he recorded a video of me when I go in the pit, and you just see like people just walk out to whatever direction they can. But yeah, no, I was in watching the pit for Chelsea Grin, and I see this dude just take a straight up fist, a guy just swung fully like this to the front of the jaw. And this is from a guy probably like, the guy throwing the fist is probably like 6'3", like 230. So this is a big boy. And he hits him, and the dude just goes lights out immediately. And he's on the floor, and his buddy drags him back from out of the pit, because the pit like was kind of still going, but he was just like, I gotta get him out. And so I'm there, and I'm standing, I'm like, okay. Normally I figured his buddy would get him up. I look back probably like 30 seconds later. This dude is still out, still on the ground. His front teeth had been knocked backwards in, same with his back teeth, and his mouth was just sort of filling with blood. Sorry to get this real disturbing. But yeah, I was like, am I going to see a person die at a show? Luckily, like 30 seconds later, he comes to. But the dude was out for almost 2.5 minutes just because he took a wrong hit and must have just hit him the right/wrong way because he was just out, and he was just not feeling good. I think that dude probably was like at the dentist for the next 2 months just getting pure surgery and that stuff back in. But yeah, that's one of the first memories that pops into my head of a metal show. Yeah. Any hard hits you've seen like that before?
I was one that received the hard hit.
Ooh, okay. Let me hear.
Actually, no, that's a lie. I was one. So basically, it was a Black Dahlia murder show, and it's probably like in maybe 2014 as well. And I was at the Palladium. There's this guy that's about your size that fucking is running, but like running the opposite, so counterclockwise of the pit, and it was really confusing. So I was like, what the fuck? So I like put my head down. So like, if he were to try to go for me, like I hate getting shoulder checked or whatever you want to call it. And so I went down, the dude went down too. His nose went right into my fucking jaw.
Ooh.
And he broke his nose. My jaw was whatever. I mean, it wasn't broken.
Yeah.
And I started laughing because I'm just like, I mean, I didn't fucking do anything wrong. Like, why would a 6'3" foot dude fucking go to the level of, me who was like 5'5", 5'6" at the time?
He shouldn't have been running the wrong way.
Yeah, I was like, this dude's a tool. So I started laughing, and like I was really scrawny back then. And so it was kind of funny that happened, and I started laughing.
Yeah.
And his friend's like, this is the only time you'll ever fucking like laugh after breaking someone's nose. I'm like, yo, I'm not at fault for this. Like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I could also blame my friend for fucking even throwing me in the pit, because usually like when it comes to pits, I like kind of become a little bitch about it.
I would too.
Like, I'll go in for like a second, I'm like, all right, cool, like I'm good. But like my friend used me as a log jam and like legit just like pushed me through the entire pit. And I was like, fuck. And I think I saw Hatebreed that night too. And I ended up like being in the middle of the pit, not realizing I'm in the middle. And fucking as soon as I'm like looking to the drummer, like about to like start. And all I remember, some dude fucking just hit me, like shoulder checked me. My shoulder goes straight into the middle of the, or hits the ground. I thought I shattered it.
Yeah.
Fucking hurt real bad. Still the same show. Something more as of recent was last year when I saw Slayer, but it was before Slayer went on, was it was Lamb of God. And
okay. Hell yeah.
I believe it was, I forgot what song it was, but basically I had to stop like literally in the middle of the song. If anybody knows, like Randy Blythe, like basically was in prison for 2 years almost for a charge that like was not his fault.
Yeah, kicking someone off stage. I mean, all bands do that. They all push like the what I call them is cows, stage cows, because they go on stage and they don't know how to jump off or get down, so they're just awkwardly standing up there. And so the lead singers, the people, they kick them off and push them off stage all the time. It's a completely like accepted thing at heavy shows.
But there's 6 security guards that fucking he got past, and the 3 breaker, whatever the hell the things to like stop you from being able. That was like that dude had it coming, and like he died. Yeah. Whatever. You had a show, shit happens. You know?
He pushed
even has on your fucking wrist thing where it says like, going at your own risk. So
he pushed the person off, and then I think they went into a coma or something like that. But that was crazy. But
this dude. So in regards to that, this guy breaks his leg, and I think he broke his leg. So they literally just stopped the entire show. I have it on video. And basically what happened was like they stopped like mid song for a good like 5 minutes. I was like,
it's serious then.
Yeah, and then he because he's the one to have that shit happen again. So I was like, all right, cool. And they started exactly on point. I was like, how the fuck did you manage to do that? I'm like, you played that song like 10,000 times probably now. So like, but it was pretty amazing to see that like musicians of that like sort to go. From complete stop to like as if nothing happened.
Well, everyone in the band has to be in sync. Like, oh, okay, cool. But I have 2 other like distinct memories that come to brain. One, a crazy sort of scary memory. I was at a tiny little local show at this place called Uncle Studios here in Van Nuys.
Yes.
Tiny little
2-inch
recording
fucking thing.
Yeah, it's like a shoebox is
basically.
And so this buddy of mine, his band is playing, but one of the bands before his, they were like another heavier band. They're playing, and during it, some dude apparently pushed the wrong dude the wrong way. So after that song ends, the dude who felt he was pushed wrongly pushed that dude up against the wall, pulls a knife out of his pocket, says, "I'm gonna fucking stab you." And that's a real good choice of words for it. I couldn't have been more creative. But I was like, oh, okay, another moment where I might see someone die at a show. Luckily, everyone in the venue that I think mainly his friends probably, they just yanked him off and no. So they kicked him out. He wasn't allowed back in. But that definitely sticks in my brain. Yeah, it was all 4 of the people there at the show. So the opening band, the band that played before them.
Yeah.
That's the thing when you go to local shows. It's like the crowd is the band's there and maybe 5 close friends. But a good memory of a show. One I think back upon fondly is I went, I think, in 2009 or 2010. Rob Zombie was playing at the Palladium on Halloween with the Necromantics opening as well. So just horror themed music acts. I went and saw that, and it was just one of the best shows. I went with 3 friends. The whole time trying to catch my grip on the floor because everyone was spilling their beers and margaritas on the floor because everyone was trashy. It's Halloween night. And so the whole time it's just me and my friends, it's 2 guys, 2 girls. The guys, we linked arms, and the girls were just trying not to fall because they decided to wear high heels to a metal show. Great decision, but it was amazing. I just remember being sweaty and then feeling everything dry when Rob Zombie came on because he has pyrotechnics about every 30 seconds to just and just feeling it like you're on a ride at Backdraft they used to have at Universal. It felt like I was at Backdraft. But that's definitely one of my better memories for shows of something not crazy happening, just fun. That's definitely one of my all-time favorite shows I've ever been to. I mean, you could not have a more horror-themed artist than Rob Zombie. And seeing him on Halloween night, I don't think anything will ever beat that.
Then my favorite with Black Dahlia Murder was the first time I ever actually crowd surfed. Well, one and only time I did it. Mm-hmm. Somebody pushed me, they're like, "We'll catch you," and I was like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about." And so I fucking crowd surfed for the first time. I forgot what song it was, but that's basically what got me to fall in love with them. Besides, the artist is just amazing.
Crowd surfing can definitely do it. I saw someone in a wheelchair crowd surf. That was cool. It's okay, people, you really got to put in the effort, but that's a cool thing to see. I think earlier shows that you go to have a huge influence on your preference and whether or not you keep listening to the whole reason probably I listened to heavy music is my cousin took me to a show at Chain Reaction in Anaheim when I was 12 to see 18 Visions, like I talked about earlier. And it was cool because that was my first ever like heavy show. I was a little kid, and just insane. It was like a packed house, sold out show. And luckily enough, that show they recorded for their DVD, like on that album, just that one show. No other shows. They recorded that one. And so I permanently, if I ever want to go back, I can go back and watch my first like heavy show I ever went to because they recorded it and put it on their deluxe edition CD. So yeah, I think that was just a little lucky.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, mine was at Kung Fu Corner at, I think in Simi Valley. I'm pretty sure it's closed down, but I saw like, the Ghost Inside. That was like the very first show I ever went to, and that's like...
Yeah, I've heard of so many shows at that venue. I never got to go, but I've heard about it. I know like A Day to Remember was played there. Big bands in the heavy music scene now like have played that tiny little venue. I think it's like or like Agora. It's somewhere, right?
Simi Valley.
Yeah, somewhere in that.
118 West.
Oh, okay,
Whatever.
Yeah. So no, it's
you had Volumes of Faceless there. You've had All Shall Perish play at the Cobalt, which is like another Uncle Studios.
Yeah, no.
Suicide Silence played there. Like all these bands I didn't even realize I knew back then. My friends like, we were at that show. I was like,
yeah. That's the thing about the LA area for heavy music. There's so many tiny venues, and they'll be here for like a period of like 5 to 10 years. They almost always close down for some reason. But yeah, no. And if you meet another person into heavy music, like most likely you can be like, were you at that show? Were you at that show? Most likely you were at the same show. You just didn't know it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's happened more times than I can even count now.
Yeah, 100%.